Today we're going to be talking through how we're training on threading. This is Bronte, it's one of her first times doing it, so we're just learning how to get our threading prepared, ready. Now Bronte just asked, how do we keep our knots, which is just here, out of the way, because we don't want that to get caught up within our thread. And the best thing for Bronte to do is to actually hold the knot itself whilst doing her turns, so that way we know that knot is going to be out of the way. Okay? We don't want that knot getting caught up for the sole reason that if hairs get caught in it might actually pull more hairs out. So if you want to show to the camera how we're doing that, we're going to do 8 turns of our thread, and what that's going to allow to do is kind of a buffer in between the hair being lifted off and twisted round and then falling out, so that we're keeping those triangles nice and even. So we're working on Nadia today, and this is the first time that Bronte is going to be doing it with a client sat up. So what we need to make sure is that our client's hair is off the face, and we're not going to catch anything that we don't want, and we want to have a look at the hairs that we're going to be taking out today. So if you want to decide which they are, whereas our client got quite nice brows at the moment.
She's got quite nice brows.
Yeah, fantastic. So let's have a look what we've got.
Do a little tiny bit here.
Definitely, and you've got little bits of hair more, so if we focus more in the centre of the brow today, that'd be great. So what you might want to do, Nadia, is just drop your stool down slightly. To help Bronte with the height. That's fantastic. And don't forget, you can get your client to hold and pull and stretch wherever they need to be. And if you guys are doing this on yourself at home, don't forget that you can kind of pull with the thread as well. So if you can just show us, Bronte, where we're putting the thread onto the client's skin, how we can actually pull the skin at the same time with our hands. So if you're doing it on yourself at home, don't forget that you can use a supporting hand to stretch your own skin as well. The tighter you get the skin, the more even it's going to feel with the hair coming out, and the less uncomfortable it's going to be. So one mistake Bronte's made there is that she's actually gone with the hair growth instead of against it. So with threading, we need to be pulling against the hair growth. So no hairs would have come on there. There you go, darling, if you want to walk around this way a little bit. So there we go, that's a wee bit better. So we're keeping the little buffer that we've got in the middle, we're keeping that low to the skin, and that's important because as we lift, when it's similar to tweezing, when you get a hair being tweezed out, you notice there's a pull at some point and it feels really uncomfortable to your client. When you lift your thread, that's the same type of thing happening. From my angle, I can just see a little hair, so I'm just going to move that out of the way. So what we can see is that we've got 2 triangles with our threading, and the smaller triangle is going to be the one that we're going to extend to actually remove the hair, whereas the larger triangle, if you can see there, is the one that we want to place the hairs into first and foremost, so it gives us a little bit of a stretch. The movement that we're doing with the threading is literally, you might just be able to see there, is literally, I'll show you here, is this type of movement. So that's what we want to be doing all of the time with the threading, so that we are stretching and relaxing either side to release that hair. The angles are a really important one. Sometimes it can be a little bit more difficult getting the correct angle, and the best thing we can say for that is involve your client with the treatment, ensure that they are tilting their head back if they need to, ensure they're at the right height if they need to be taller or shorter for you. You know, if you need to stand anything to support as well, then that's not a bad idea too. But definitely get your client involved. Don't expect them to just sit there, because it'll make your life quite difficult. And it's really important to watch your posture throughout this as well. So are you quite happy with the removal of the hairs at the top? And you can see Bronte's getting down to the client's height there, so that basically when you move or when you're in a different position, that lighting shines on the client's face differently, so it allows her to see any of the smaller hairs that are coming through. If you're doing this yourself at home, it's a really good idea to have a light in the mirror that you're doing the treatment in, so that you can see those fair hairs. Threading is fantastic to get the fair ones out, because it will pick them up if they're in that triangle, whether you can see them or not, but it does allow a better perception. How's that feeling? Feeling okay?
Lovely.
It's really common for your eyes to water, so don't worry about that at the time, similar to waxing and tweezing as well. Fantastic, so hopefully that's helped you today. Don't forget to check out the rest of our YouTube videos. You can follow us on our YouTube channel, The Relaxation Den, And don't forget to follow us on Twitter @RelaxationDen and like us on Facebook as well. Thanks for watching.